So, good morning. Today we are going to see the electrolytic refining of copper. So, in this electrolytic refining of copper, we see there is anode and cathode. The anode is of impure copper, the cathode is of pure copper. Now, this is the two electrodes, or we can see the anode and the cathode, which is being dipped in an solution, that is an electrolyte, which is of copper sulfate solution. So, here we see the apparatus. It consists of electrolytic tank containing acidified copper sulfate solution as electrolyte. So here we see the solution used, or the electrolyte used, is the copper sulfate solution. There is a thin block of impure copper metal is made up of anode. So this is an impure copper which is made up of anode. A thin strip of pure copper metal is made as cathode. So this is a pure copper which is made up of cathode. Now, when the battery is on, so when the current is on, what happens? The impure copper from the anode dissolves and goes into copper sulfate solution. So from this impure copper, when the electricity is passed, the copper get dissolved in the copper sulfate solution, that is in the electrolyte, and pure copper from the copper sulfate solution deposits on the cathode. So only the pure copper, only the copper, it get deposit on this cathode. This pure copper metal is produced at an cathode. So this is at cathode. We have seen it previously only. The soluble impurities goes into the solution, whereas insoluble impurities settle down at anode as anode mud. So here we see whatever the impurities are present, it gets settled down exactly before the uh, copper, impure copper anode, and which settles at impurity, which is nothing but we can see as anode mud. Now here we can see the chemical reactions like the copper ions from copper sulfate solution. So yeah, we have seen the copper ions which are is pure, which goes into the copper sulfate solution. They go to the cathode where they are reduced to copper and they get deposited on the cathode. So we see the reaction. This is the copper ions. It gains the electron and it deposit on the copper. Here we see the impure anode, the copper which is present in the impure anode. It forms the copper ions and go into the solution of electrolyte. So this is the impure anode where the copper is present, this copper which go into the solution in the form of the ions. Thus what we see, the net result is transfer of pure copper from anode to the cathode solution. The impurities like zinc, iron, etc. go into the solution, while the noble impurities like silver, gold, etc. are left behind as anode mud or at the anode mud. So here are the two reactions which takes place at the anode and at the cathode.